Why is the nice girl always a target for jealous, envious people? Why is it that the women who are kind, who are nice, who are more reserved in nature are always the ones who are a target for the jealous, envious, toxic people? It's often because they take you as being naive. When people perceive you as being somehow naive or gullible, they take your sweethearted nature as somehow a weakness. They look at you as if because you don't say much, because you aren't always so overly emotional, because you aren't always so triggered by the things that people do and say, they often take you as being so naive, so gullible that they can take advantage of you and attempt to bully you. See, women who are often more feminine in nature, who are more laid back, who actually know how to just relax and shoot the breeze, they are often the women who are targets for overbearing, obnoxious, jealous, envious women. They look at your kindness as a weakness, as they say. And women who really know their value, know their worth, who have confidence and don't feel like they need to prove themselves, are often the very targets of jealous, envious women. See, women who are overbearing, obnoxious, and jealous of other women, they've been taught that they have to lead with masculinity. They've been taught that they have to lead with that big bully type of energy, that big bully type of way of being that says, I can't be heard unless I'm doing the most. I can't be heard or seen unless I'm being overly provocative, unless I'm being overly ratchet in my behavior. Masculine women, women who are insecure, they often lead with masculinity. They lead with being bullies. They lead with over talking, over speaking, yelling, and being overall just trying to bully those who they perceive as being naive. And if you are the type of woman who is not like that, you have to expect that you're going to be the target of someone's, be it man or woman, jealousy and envy. So as a feminine woman, as a confident woman, as a woman who knows her worth, you have to make sure not to become that type of woman. Because what'll happen oftentimes, women who are targets for jealous, envious, overbearing, obnoxious women, what you'll find yourself doing is coming out of character, which is what they want. They don't want you to be soft. They don't want you to be reserved. They don't want you to be a woman who just eases and flows, who just goes along, minding her business, being unbothered, as I love to say, because that's how I am and how I encourage you to be. But there are some people, when they're so jealous and envious of you, when they don't like you for some reason, they don't want you to be unbothered. They don't want you to be soft. Feminine softness, that is something that comes natural for women. That is a part of our nature. And yet, in the society that we live in, softness, femininity, being reserved, being soft-spoken, having a gentle spirit, those kind of things are frowned upon because people are so accustomed to women being so savage-like, so bully-like, so manly and toxic, that when they come across the woman who is confident, who is just existing in her skin and trying to be soft and unbothered, that poses a problem. And that's when you might find yourself being the target of some overbearing, obnoxious, insecure, jealous woman. And why do women get this way? When they see women living in their feminine softness, when they see women who are attempting to be the counter type of woman that you see today, being more reserved, being more spiritual, being more girly, maybe if that's your thing, it's often frowned upon because today women are expected to be just like men. And you have some women who are programmed to believe that they have to operate and be just like men. So when they see a woman who's not manly, who's not overbearing, who's not trying to prove herself and, mark her territory like some kind of animal, because women who are insecure and feel inferior to other women, who are jealous of other women, they're always trying to mark their territory in some way. They're always trying to show other women that they are the boss, they are the head, they are the number one honcho, whatever you want to say. A woman who has an insecure, jealous, envious spirit and she mistreats other women, she's always trying to mark her territory in some way. She's always trying to show other women that you don't belong. And women who are confident, women who are actually girls who actually love and like other women, we are not always trying to mark our territory and say, this is mine, you can't have it. This is where I belong, you can't be here. Women who are confident and not jealous haters understand that they can share the spotlight with other women, that they can share not the spotlight, but information with other women, and that doesn't take anything away from them. They understand the concept of they don't have to dim their light for other women to shine and vice versa. But jealous, envious women, they don't understand that their light can still shine even in the midst of other women. But when a woman does not feel good about herself, she will always take the tone that she doesn't like women, she doesn't like you, and somehow your feminine softness, your unbothered nature will absolutely irritate her. And then what's worse is that you have some men today, some very soft, sassy, weak acting men who are actually encouraging this type of behavior in women. When you have men today, not all men, of course, that goes without saying, but I'm going to say it because, as I always say, the internet likes to be confused. But you have a lot of men today who are actually encouraging women to be more masculine, to be more manly. It's like they get a kick out of seeing women act like men, out of seeing women bully other women. You have some men who are actually the women in their relationship, and they encourage their woman to be more like a man. Anytime there's a battle to be fought, they go get their woman to do it. And they get a kick out of seeing their woman be against other women. I don't understand the whole idea of a woman sitting around with men talking bad, talking down about other women and what they want to do to her and how they want to harm her and how she thinks she's this. I don't believe in the whole man doing girl talk with a girl. Like, if I need to have real girl talk, I will find a friend. I will phone a friend. I will phone an auntie, a cousin, somebody I can trust. But I'm not sitting around with a man having girl talk. Because what'll happen if that man is not masculine, he will encourage the tomfoolery between women. You have men who like to put women against one another. They like seeing that rah-rah from other women. They like seeing a woman about to knock another woman in the head just because. This is the type of overly masculine, unhinged behavior that a lot of men are actually encouraging in women. And I'm not saying that it's the fault of man that women are so savage and manly, but when you have a confused culture, a confused society that's saying that men being like women and women being like men is okay, and this is not just in orientation, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about in nature. That's when you get a lot of confusion, and that's when that jealousy and envy sparks between women who are actually acting like women and women who actually want to look like and act like men but want to actually look feminine. I hope that makes sense. Because a lot of women today, they're so manly, so masculine, so mean-spirited, so much of a bully that they're actually just men in dresses. They have a feminine appearance, but they carry themselves like savages. And when they come across a woman who is feminine, who is dainty, who is not for all the trouble, for all the chaos, as I've said before, she's not an agent of chaos. And some people absolutely love women who are agents of chaos. They're straight terrors. And when you are not like that, if you're more soft and you value your peace and your peace of mind, you have to expect that you're going to butt heads with a woman who is more savage-like, and she can't just be. Now, a woman has a right to be however she wants to be as far as her personality, but being a jerk is not a personality trait. Being a mean woman, being a bully, that is not a personality trait. That is a character flaw that needs to be worked on. And when people don't understand that character flaws can be fixed, but your personality is something different, that's when they'll spread their hate, spread their jealousy, spread their envy, and they'll act like it's no big deal because that's just her. That's how she is. You know, a lot of us grew up with mean-spirited bully aunties, cousins, uncles, all these different people. And we were taught to believe that that's just how women are. Women are cats. You know, we're just claw at each other. We just come at each other just because. And not until you developed spiritually the way I see it, and then just as a woman, do you realize that it really doesn't have to be this way. Women really don't have to hate each other this much. Women don't have to mistreat and misuse one another. We don't have to claw at each other and try to bring each other down in order to make it to the proverbial top, wherever that top is for you. But when a woman does not understand this, when she doesn't have enough discernment or wisdom to understand that bullying other women or attempting or using a woman's soft nature as an opportunity to take advantage of that woman in some way, if she doesn't understand that that's not okay, you will find yourself around women who are bullies and seek to bully you. And that's where your confidence and your self-esteem comes in as a woman. You don't change your nature. Don't become more savage-like. Don't become more rah-rah, like you got to start doing the things they do. But recognize it for what it is, and recognize, number one, that it's not normal. It's not normal for a woman to just walk around angry and miserable for no reason. It's just not. It's not normal for a woman to have an attitude with everybody just because. Will you have an attitude? Will you get angry? Absolutely, because you are a person, you are a woman, you have your days, you have your moments. But I'm talking about your character and your personality. Women who have a personality, their personality is anger. Their personality is agitation. Their personality is chaos. That is a problem. That is an issue. And women like that, not all, because some of them can exist in their misery and be fine on their own. Those are women that you should feel for. But the women who can't exist in their misery by themselves and feel like they need to spread it around and get jealous and hate on the women who don't operate that way, that's a problem. And that's when you have to know how to carry yourself in the midst of women like that, of jealous, envious women who are just angry, bitter, and miserable, and they want to spread it on to you. You have to make sure that you are maintaining your spirit, maintaining your peace, filling your mind with so many things. For me, it's spiritual things, it's scripture, and then on top of that, things that I actually enjoy, things that keep me in my feminine softness, not allowing people and things to overstress me. Because agents of chaos, jealous women, envious women, they want to stress you. They want to stress you because they themselves are stressed. And oftentimes it's because they take it on more than what they're supposed to as women. And that goes back to the now masculine nature of many women. Many women are existing like men. They are working just as hard as men. They are trying to lead and, soft lead their men. They're doing the most in every area of life just to prove who they are, when they don't recognize that their femininity and how they are, their presence is enough. Being an encourager, being a nurturer, being a helpmate for your husband if you're a wife, that is enough. But all this other stuff that women are doing, trying to fight on the front line, of course they're going to be bitter and miserable toward other women who are not doing all of that. Because we've waken up to the point that we don't want to fight no more. We don't want to fight. We don't want to be on the front line of anything. We're not fighting anybody's battles. We are letting somebody else do it. And if you're a spiritual woman, I'm a believer, I let God handle my battles. I'm not constantly battling with anyone about anything, and I'm not doing more than what I can handle. And what you see about a lot of masculine women who are envious and jealous of other women who operate in more of an ease and flow state of being, it's because they envy the fact that some women actually crack the code on their femininity, on their womanhood, and they realize that operating like men, being overworked, stressed, and all of these other things are not badges of honor. They're actually things that will take you out of here early if you're not careful. But women who haven't gotten that memo, instead of changing and making the necessary changes to be at ease, to be at peace, They just envy and get jealous of the next woman who has discovered that being overly masculine and overbearing and a bully, that's not the answer. But instead, they want you to change. And beware of people who want you to change to fit their misery. They want you to change and be miserable like them. They want you to be that girl that's working 15 jobs, going to school, running a household, and doing all these different things because they're doing all of that. There is no competition when it comes to struggle. You don't have to struggle more than you choose to. Some women choose to struggle because they see it as a badge of honor. They see running themselves ragged and being overly stressed and hurting their health as somehow showing their worth. But a woman who does not operate that way, you have to expect to be a target of a jealous, envious woman. Because some women, all they know is struggle. All they know is strife. All they know is the hard way. And when you are tired of that, or you never operated that way, they're going to look at you as if somehow you're beneath them. Yes, you have some women who actually look at other women as being beneath them, all because they don't choose struggle, all because they don't choose to be stressed or overworked or overweight. Yes, I'm going to go there. Some women glorify being overweight. I am not against anyone who's overweight. My weight fluctuates depending on the time of the month, depending on how I feel. I could be skinny, I could be slim thick, or I could be borderline big. It's like, that's not the point. The point that I'm making is that you have some women, any positive thing that you're doing, they look at it as a negative, all because they're not doing it. All because they don't have the discipline or the determination to do the same thing. They want you to change. So if they're overweight, you stop going to the gym because I need you to sit here and eat these cakes so I can feel good about myself. Don't get too slim fit in my presence because that makes me feel uncomfortable. Stop going to the gym. Stop working so hard to do the things you're doing. That makes me uncomfortable. You have some people who are only comfortable with you as long as you are not doing the very best you know how to do as a woman. Some people want you to strive for mediocreness, if that's a word. I think I just made that up, mediocreness. Anyway, some people want you to strive to be mediocre, and it's all because they feel inferior when you do too much. As women, we don't operate that way. You do whatever you feel led to do. If it's something spiritual, if you feel like God is giving you direction to do something, or if you're just doing something that you know is best for your health. Something is so superficial, but food. If you know you can't handle eating cakes, don't feel like you have to go to the event and eat cake, all because of your slim, thick, or fat friends feel some kind of way about you eating healthy. We don't do those kind of things. And I apologize for offending anyone with the word fat, but fat, skinny, slim, thick, it's all describing something that we're all familiar with. There are some beautiful big women who carry it well because that's just their build. That's just how they are. And again, the point of this, none of this is about weight, but this is the thing that a lot of women identify with. So I'm using it as an example. But I am by no means skinny at all. I am closer to the 200 mark than the 100 mark. And yes, that's full transparency. And I wear it well. But it depends on what month and what day, okay? But the point that I'm making, do not change how you operate. When you are doing things that are benefiting you and helping you, if you don't eat cake, don't eat cake just because they feel some kind of way because you're choosing to be healthy. Being healthy will never be seen as negative. It's only negative to a jealous, envious person who envies you instead of using what you do as inspiration to benefit their own lives. And you are not the standard for other people. You are the standard for yourself. But when people get jealous and envious of the things that you do, they make you the standard in their lives. And that is not when you turn around and dumb yourself down. That's when you get focused on staying the way you are and not letting their toxicity rub off on you. Like the old saying goes, misery loves company. And when some people are so miserable in their own lives, they feel good when they can inflict that misery onto you. And as confident, feminine, leveled up women, we are not going to do that. All right. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you have not gotten the book, How to Be a Feminine Woman, the Blueprint, link is in the description box of this video and every video I make. Girl on Girl Wars, a book on jealousy and envy against women. I wrote that book because this is something that is so prevalent today. It's a must read. And then How to Detox from Toxic People. Check out that book. We also have All Things Woman merch on our spread shop. Get the Unbothered t-shirts, the Feminine Energy t-shirts. And ladies, by all means, leave your opinions in the comments. I love to see them. And put that high heel emoji, the high heel emoji, not hill emoji, but high heel emoji. Leave it in the comment section. I love to see it. Take care.